Salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 recent 5-star reads. That is a tongue twister. I'm going to be talking about some books that I recently rated 5 stars. Okay, so the first one I've talked about quite a bit on my channel in like my recent book hauls, but that is Swallow Your Pride by Sarah Blue. I just love this cover so much. This is her special edition cover that she did and has like gold foiling, and it's so cute. This book is everything. It has all of my favorite tropes. It's an office romance. It's an age gap romance. It has a little bit of a zaddy kink. And I love Sarah Blue's writing. I mainly read her Omega verse, and those are amazing. But this one is also really good, and obviously I gave it 5 stars. And this one, our heroine is feeling kind of lost. She is the daughter of an affair. So her dad was married with kids, had a whole family, and he met her mom and they had an affair. She's at a point in her life where she wants to understand her father. However, her father passes away, so she goes to the funeral and finds out that he owned like this really large sports company and left some shares to her. Some of the shares of the company are going to her, some of the shares are going to her brother, and then the other half is going to her dad's ex-business partner. She works for the sports company and has a romance with her dad's ex-business partner and his ex-best friend. There's a 10-year age gap, a zaddy kink. Spicy, it's steamy, but it's also really sweet. There's no third act breakup or miscommunication trope. Like, it's just perfect, and I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for a fun, steamy age gap romance, I highly recommend this one. With the spicy, sexy times, we have Minks by Sophie Lark. You guys know I love Sophie Lark, okay? I love everything she writes, but Minks was honestly something so special. Hero Ramses, he's a self-made man, he's a billionaire, he has some shmoney, and he ends up meeting our heroine Blake, who is an escort for the rich and famous. Brilliant, she's gorgeous, and he's immediately attracted to her and pays for her services. Very sexy, very steamy. They embark on this really unique relationship. There's some BDSM in here, and it's so sexy, okay? A little bit of role-playing. She dresses up like a cat. That's where Minks comes in, and I feel like I can't properly describe this book because it's so unique, and it's not just like a sexy steamy time. There's also like so much discussion on like knowing your worth and mental health as well, and it's beautiful. Like, I was reading this on the plane and I was bawling my eyes out, okay? Crying on the plane. This book had me in a chokehold. I absolutely loved it. Loved how confident and sexy our hero was, but our heroine was equally confident and sexy and brave and intelligent. They were such a formidable pair. Of course, all of her newer books have like the illustrations inside that is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Again, I feel like I'm not doing this book justice. It's just amazing. It's so good. 5 stars, which is no surprise because I give pretty much all of Sophie Lark's books 5 stars. She's my favorite author, so. A little bit of a surprise recently is I've been getting into small town romances, small town romance reading vlog, where I tried out 6 different small town romances and I loved pretty much all of them, okay? That was not in my bingo card of 2023. You guys know me. I love reverse harem and poly romances and why choose romances. So small town romances was not a trope I expected to love. But I was humbled real quick because I found so many, and my absolute favorite, like my freaking favorite, and I'm still not over this book, it was Fractured Skies by Catherine Cowles. Talk about an emotional book. The way I was crying. That it's small town romance, a little bit of a romantic suspense element there as well. Our heroine was kidnapped when she was really young. I think she was like 10 years old, and it was by a man who wanted to like raise her to be pure so that she could marry his son. He was absolutely delusional and psychotic. He gets caught, she gets saved, but because it happened in a small town, everyone knows what happened. She was in the papers. Her family was so protective of her, but she feels a little bit trapped. Wants to branch out, become more independent, find her happiness, and that is where she meets our hero. Our hero owns this secluded ranch where he takes in injured horses that were badly abused, and he kind of helps rehabilitate them. Also has so much trauma in his past that he's going through as well. Everyone immediately feels safe with him, and he offers to let her stay on his ranch in their guest house, so there's a little bit of forced proximity there. Also ends up working for him and helping out with the horses, and together they just heal. Like, that is literally this entire book, is them healing their trauma and realizing that they're worthy of love and affection, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Hands down, one of the most romantic books I have ever read. like true soulmates. They felt like true soulmates. The plot was the external plot. Like I said, it is a romantic suspense. Our heroine has been getting these threatening letters that is in reference to her past. The plot was just like jam-packed. There was always something happening. It kept me invested the whole time. I'm really excited to read more Catherine Cowles. You know, I had to throw in a poly book. Okay, I told you. I like what I like. I like what I like. I recently read, this was a couple months ago. This is like the past few months, like my favorite reads. And it was Can't Say Goodbye by Eden Finley. This is a poly romance with 3 guys, 2 Navy SEALs, and a sports agent. Also has an age gap. Hero, who is a sports agent, he is discovering that he really has like a fantasy of being in a poly romance. He realizes that like that type of lifestyle is something he's very interested in. So he walks into a bar and has an immediate connection with these 2 men who are Navy SEALs. They're 10 years older than him, I think, so that's where the age gap comes into play. Make a deal that they're just gonna have one steamy night. It's gonna be a one-night stand. And then that one-night stand turns into another night. And another night. And another night, and another night. Of course, because they're in the Navy, it's like special forces. They're constantly being taken out to missions. Hero's in college and he lives in a different state. So it's a little bit of a long distance situation, but they're constantly finding themselves back with one another. And I loved it. It was so good. It was so steamy, but also, again, emotional and romantic. Like, apparently that's like my thing right now, is I want my book to be steamy, but also very emotional and romantic. Like, I need both. I need both. Another one by Eden Finley, but this one was co-written with Saxon James. I read a lot and they have like this whole hockey universe. This is in their Foolish Puck Boy series. Hero is a hockey player. He's going through a divorce. He has just kind of drifted apart from his wife and now he's recently single and he's having a little bit of a bi awakening. He's always known that he was bi, but he married his wife really young. They were high school sweethearts, so he's never been in a relationship with a man and he's kind of nervous about it. He meets our hero and they have great chemistry. Our hero is a firefighter. Actually end up meeting because the hockey player, I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names, but the hockey player ends up getting drunk with a bunch of his friends and teammates and setting like a small fire, just like a small fire in their house. Our other hero gets the call, comes to the house, they have like a hilarious meet cute and they keep bumping into each other. They have amazing chemistry and I really, really loved this one. Their dynamic was so sweet and like a firefighter and a hockey player? That was so sexy, guys. I loved this one. So those are 5 books that I read recently that I gave 5 stars. So I hope you guys like this style of video. I don't usually film wrap-up videos that often, so this is like my way of just chatting about some of my favorite books that I've read recently. Let me know what books you guys have given 5 stars recently. I've done a couple of videos like this where I talked about like my favorite historicals recently, so I'll leave that down below if you want to check that out. Anyways, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!